Hey everyone, Mo here, and before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that my schedule has opened up for me to do coaching again. So if you're interested in private one-on-one coaching for me to help you, whether you're a newer player and you want to excel at the game very quickly and learn the fundamentals without developing any bad habits early, or if you're an experienced player who's already maybe platinum or diamond in your top 1%, but you need some help filling in the gap to get you to that 0.01%, to make you just some of the best, then hit me up on Discord and I can get you in some private one-on-one coaching lessons to help you polish up any skills you want to refine and help you learn all of the secrets to becoming a top player. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Mo here, and today I'm bringing you guys another deck guide for dummies, and this deck guide today is going to be over the Gangplank Sejuani Plunder deck. So Plunder is an aggro slash mid-range style deck, mostly mid-range, but has some tendency to get aggro sometimes if you need it to be. And the goal for this deck is to deal damage to your opponent's Nexus every single round, so you can level up your champions, and then you just have these really big, really powerful champions on turns 5 and 6. And you will consistently get your champions because you get to play 9 and kind of 9.5 total champions. So the odds of you drawing your champions is really high. You're really good against aggro decks because you have early game removal with things like Parlay and Make It Rain and your own early game units as well. And you're okay against control as well because you can be on the aggro plane yourself, where you say, okay, I'm just going to shove units at you, force you to remove them, and then just play my big unit. And then you can deal with my big unit, but then you still have to deal with this early game swarm that I'm doing to you. Otherwise, you can just straight up die to my 2/2s and 3/3s and stuff like that. And mid-range decks, you just completely stomp because of Sejuani's level up ability. For those of you that don't know, when Sejuani is leveled up, it says each round, the first time I see you, or the first time you damage the enemy Nexus, it frostbites all enemies. So you can basically have Sejuani in play, get a warning shot, and then just have 0 mana burst speed frostbite the entire enemy board. And it's so hard for your opponent to ever attack you through that. And yeah, this deck is just a monster. You get to play 3 mana, remove basically any unit right now. Again, you have this anti-aggro removal spell, and then you have your own early game tools. So I'm excited. I played a lot of Plunder lately. I think I have a 58 or 59% win rate over 70 games. So almost a 60% win rate on 70 games of the deck. So I think I feel pretty comfortable with Plunder, so I can show you how to play it optimally. And I'm really excited to show you some games. But before we get into the games, I want to remind you guys that 60% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button and leave a comment down below, that helped me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers before the start of the year, so we can start 2022 off extremely strong. So that's it for the intro. Let's get into the games. Alright, cool. So we immediately get to start off with the mirror match here. And in the mirror match, your biggest goal is just to level your champions. If you can just level your champions, get your plunder trigger while denying your opponent plunder trigger, that is the biggest thing you could possibly do. So we're just going to play Butcher here and hopes that they have a crack shot and not a Butcher. Because you don't want to play your crack shot if they have a Butcher, because then you're sad. Whereas here, we can just trade plunder triggers and it's no big deal. Or he has to lose a unit for free, and of course I'm happy with that. There's Mirai Warden, so a bunch of 1/2s. No big deal. I think I'm just going to... I'm just going to play my Crackshot Corsair here. We can't negate their... what is it called? We can't negate their Plunder Trigger because the Crackshot will go off no matter what. But negating your opponent's Plunder Trigger and getting your own Plunder Trigger is really how you run away with this mirror match, so... We're just going to swing like this, get our Plunder Trigger, play Monkey Idol to get Plunder Triggers every turn. And we should be racing our opponent because I believe we're on 2. So they would have to get a Plunder Trigger this turn. So they can play Monkey Idol now, that's perfectly fine with me. Oh, no, warning shot. Okay, so they're back on track, so we're leveling at the same time. Our Plunder, so it's just going to come down to who has more champions in the late game and who has more removal spells for the champions. Luckily, I drew a Harpoon, so, and I have a Gangplank, so we're kind of chilling here. They're both going to trigger Plunder. I'm going to Black Market Merchant. Nice. And then I think I'm going to actually Monster Harpoon this Monkey Idol. So that way, if they want to get a... This way, if they want to get a Plunder Trigger next turn, they're going to have to use this Warning Shot from the Grifter. I was going to say they'd have to work for it really hard, but they just got a Warning Shot out of that, so they don't have to work for it too hard. Alright, so here, we're just going to play Yodel Grifter. Nice. We got a 0 mana warning shot. Always what you want to see. That's pretty funny. But yeah, so like right here, we can just pass and... Okay, so there's the warning shot. So now we're no longer going to pass. We were going to pass to try and threaten their units and say like, hey buddy, do something. But he went ahead and used the warning shot. Oh god, got 2 butchers. Pretty good stuff here. I'm assuming one of those was stolen. We can just full swing here, not really be worried. If they want to trade 3-3 with that, that's fine. So we're kind of aggroing him down, which is good. Our unit's 4 out of 4. There's 4 out of 4. So good news is we're going to have leveled Gangplank on the open attack next turn. Or, sorry, on our next turn. So as long as they don't have like a Szechuani here, we should just be winning the game. Okay, so there's a Gangplank. So I think we just say okay. And hope to not get absolutely blown up. Because, again, we can play Gangplank afterwards. And whoever plays their Gangplank first, this is something really important for the mirror match. If you play your Gangplank first, you are in a not great spot. Because what happens now is his Gangplank is going to make a keg. His Gangplank is going to make a keg at the beginning of the next round, and I'm going to get to pull that with my Gangplank. So, the only way he can kill my Gangplank now is that the last 2 cards in his hand are exactly, they would have to be exactly Harpoon and then second Gangplank. So, we're pretty safe here to play our Gangplank. If he plays another unit here and doesn't get the keg, that'd be good for him, because then I can't pull the keg with my Gangplank. But this is why playing your Gangplank first is not very good. Because now, look, I just get to pull his keg, and I get all my damage in, and I win the game off of that. So, big tip there, if your Gangplank isn't lethal, maybe playing your Gangplank first, not the best idea because the opponent can pull the cake. So that's something very important to keep in mind in the mirror match. Another thing, again, is just to deny plunder triggers. Right there, I didn't really get to deny any plunder triggers because I didn't have any real ways to do that. But you want to be pretty aggressive in denying plunder triggers, because if you can have your champions leveled and they don't have their champions leveled, that is such a big advantage. You will win the game every single time off of that alone. So, very cool game one. Let's see if we can get into another one. Okay, Lurk, sick. So, this Plunder is really good into Lurk. Actually, one of the main reasons why Plunder kind of came back in popularity is because Plunder beats Lurk really bad, and Lurk was one of the most dominant decks and most played decks in the meta towards the start of this season. So people were kind of playing Plunder because they're like, hey, this deck kind of smokes Lurk. Let's, you know, deal with it. I'm pretty inclined to just Crackshot Corsair here. It guarantees the Plunder trigger no matter what. And it's the same amount of damage as the Jagged Butcher anyways. If it goes unblocked, it's the same damage as the Jagged Butcher. And if they have something to block it, you still guaranteed 1 damage here. So, Chronomancer, pretty good for them. We are going to just Warning Shot and play our Jagged Butcher. 1, this triggers Plunder, and 2, this makes their attack really awkward. Obviously, Lurk is going to want to attack every single turn. We literally won the game off of that. Like, they're going to want to attack every single turn there to trigger their Lurk triggers. So if you can do things to make them not attack or not have good attacks, then you just come really far ahead and you're big chillin'. So, pretty free game. Let's see if we can get another game in there, an actual game in for you guys. Okay. Cool. So now here we're against, this is like an Elusive style deck. I haven't played this matchup, but I can assume it's not very good. We're going to keep Warning Shot for some turn 2 shenanigans. I can assume this matchup's not very good because Plunder's biggest or worst matchup right now is Poppy Z Elusives. I think it's mostly because they have rallies and a bunch of crazy shit, but it's still not very good. So I'm going to assume that this matchup... Actually, it's probably pretty good for you because they don't play Rangers Resolve. They get Nopifies, but no Rangers, so that's pretty good here. Young Witch, sure. We're going to play some Mirai Warden. And we're just going to Warning Shot here. So we're going to say, okay, Warning Shot, and just continue to level up our champions. And not be too worried about it. Okay, so... Part of me wants to play the Crackshot, because if they block here, the Mirai Wardens, I don't get my Plunder trigger. then I kind of just missed my Plunder trigger, but at least they don't have a Young Witch anymore, and we just play Monkey Idol. The hardest thing in this deck is to guarantee Plunder triggers on the turns you're not attacking. So this was worth it because we just get to Monkey Idol, and we'll start getting Plunder triggers every turn now. Our champions will level pretty quickly. Kinky guy, that should be fine. We can play Crack Shot here. I really do like Make It Raining to try and hit. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So we hit the 2-1, which is good. Ideally, we also hit the Omen Hawk, but it is what it is. So that's pretty good for us. Now we have Gangplank here, which is pretty good for us. And we're just going to start applying pressure here and being aggressive. Sounds good to me, man. And continue to just be aggressive. They could, like, Twin Disciplines this up to kill the Gangplank, and that wouldn't really bother me too much. Our champions will level next round, and then we're going to have 2 level champions, and yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to do anything. Duo, we're just going to say okay. We're going to see if they play any other, like, one more unit to make this duo bigger. I like Frostbiting. There we go. I like Frostbiting with Sejuani after they buff it. Because if you Frostbite and then they play a unit, they can still buff this unit after it's being Frostbitten. Like, they can still Young Witch it up and give it +1 attack. So that's why I liked saving the Sejuani there, because they played a unit, so we were able to negate even 1 more damage overall. So here, they say okay. And then our champion's going to level off of this Powder Monkey, and we just get an open attack that's going to board wipe them and frostbite their whole board. I guess they could have Deny. Exactly, Deny stops them from board wiping us. But I think that'd be about it. So let's see what you got here. Let's see if they have anything to stop this. If not, they kind of just die. Actually, Harpoon just, or not Harpoon, but Deny stops them from getting board wiped, but it doesn't stop the Frostbite because we still have the Crack Shot going off. So yeah, so big lethal there, and that's just an example of how to just pressure out your champion level ups. Even if it doesn't seem like the most value sometimes, it's still really good because the best value is winning, and if you level your champions, you kind of just win the game. So that's gonna be it for this deck guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like Plunder. I really enjoy Plunder. I don't really know what in this deck could be nerfed, so I don't expect this deck to get nerfed really at all, outside of maybe Harpoon can get hit. I just think this deck is very solid, very consistent. So if you want a really good mid-range deck to pick up and start learning for next season, because next season is going to arrive here in about a week and a half, or a week from tomorrow, so you have about a week left to learn this deck, and then you can have a really big advantage on everybody else if you want to learn how to play this mid-range deck. The only really hard counter to this deck in the meta right now is going to be Poppy's Head, which of course is the #1 most played deck in the game right now, but this is the #2 played deck for a reason, because it is extremely powerful, really strong, and really hard to deal with if you aren't exactly Poppy's Head. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below letting me know what deck guides you want to see in the future, what type of content you want to see in the future. Join my Discord, link will be in the description below so you get notifications whenever I go live on Twitch, post here on YouTube, and then go follow me on Twitch so you get notifications when I go live on Twitch. I stream on there almost every day, working really hard to try and grow my platform over on there as well as here on YouTube. So the link to my Twitch is also in the description below, twitch.tv/emotional. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.